All right, welcome back to the Pro Football Report. I want to talk real quick about Mike Tomlin. Now, I heard the chance of fire Tomlin. I heard Steelers fans say the things they said. I looked at Tomlin's record, and I believe he may have missed the playoffs 5 or 6 times in his 19 years. But I think there is no losing record years. I believe the worst year was 8-8. Since 2007, and he's the longest tenured head coach. And the Steelers, Pittsburgh's a pro football town. Pitt has some great history. Dan Marino, Larry Fitzgerald. The list goes on and on. Great football city, high school football, all that in general. But to me, it's just kind of weird that people scream fire Tomlin, and there's some franchises that haven't had maybe 4 winning records. The Jets haven't been to the playoffs since 2010. And I understand people saying the lack of playoff success. I guess I'd be okay if people said, you know what, they need to part mutually. But you got to realize when you fire, and I see this all the time in sports, University of Nebraska, there's a couple other examples I can't think of right now, where people get so used to success and they just get bored with it. So then they want to change. But you have to appreciate and respect his consistency. People say all these things like, I'll give you an example. It was a former Patriots receiver. He was on the podcast saying, Tomlin and them do the same defense they ran since I was there. They've been doing it almost 20 years. Well, if they've been doing that almost 20 years and they have no losing seasons, and you got Belichick, one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time, they went downhill really bad when they lost certain personnel. They didn't adjust very well when they lost Tom Brady. So for him to have the quarterbacks that he's had in Pittsburgh after Roethlisberger and still find a way to get to the playoffs, you got to give Mike Tomlin some respect. When he got hired, there was no term DEI hire. Nobody was saying that. And I'm starting to think the word DEI hire has something to do more with other things other than actually a good coach or a person good for the candidate. At first I understood it. You should hire the best, but if every minority coach that's hired is a DEI hire, even when they have a record as good as Tomlin, that means there's something wrong with that person and they have some type of hate or whatever in their heart, that there's something wrong with them. And I'm not even going to get into that subject or give them that energy. I saw somebody else, and I'll finish with this. They were posting on their videos. They cover the Steelers, or they go to Steelers games. They got a YouTube channel. And they're saying, not many people going to the Steelers game. It looks empty out here. Then 20 minutes later, they had to post, I lied. The game was packed. See, the Pittsburgh Steelers fans are hardcore, diehard fans, as they say. They're always going to show up for their team. But they also have to understand that a lot of times when you have something good going, when it leaves is maybe the only time you understand it. Now, who knows? The ownership, the GM, does a phenomenal job in Pittsburgh. So you may be able to insert another coach. And what I respect most about the Pittsburgh franchise is they give their coaches years. They gave the coach before 16 years. He won that Super Bowl. He was done. Been on TV since. Tomlin's been there 19 years. So let's see if the Pittsburgh Steelers can make the right hire again and get another coach that can win consistently and at least bring another Super Bowl title. But at the end of the day, you have to respect Mike Tomlin's record. That's not easy to do. Same defense, different quarterbacks, however you want to slice it, whatever type of hate you got for him, that's fine. But you got to respect the man's record. Peace.